Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Hangout of Importance of PageSpeed. My name is Arshad Mirza. I'm part of the Mobile Guru team here at Google. Thank you all for joining us today. We are very, very excited to be given this opportunity to assist you through this journey of mobile advertising that we have embarked on together. As some of you have been with us through this journey, and we are super excited to welcome our new members into the community as well. We are also very thankful for you to be going this extra mile to be these mobile gurus of within your agencies and helping your colleagues to learn more about mobile. Right. With that, let's kick off into what we're going to be learning about today. We're going to be looking at how to be quick. Right. What is the impact of slower websites on mobile that are having in today's digital world, and why it's really important and why this really matters for us. Let's recap a bit from the last time we spoke about the framework for succeeding in a micro-moment world. Right? We spoke about being there, where we've got to really anticipate the micro-moments for users in our industry, and then really commit to being there to help when those moments occur. We also spoke about being useful. You've got to be relevant to consumers' needs in the moment and connect people to the answers that they're looking for. Right? We also got to be quick, right? And that's the focus of our Hangout today, right? These moments are called micro moments for a reason, right? Mobile users really want to know what they're looking for quickly. They want to buy swiftly. It has to be fast, the experience, and it has to be frictionless, right? And we need to connect the dots. So let's talk about why being quick is important. The consumer today is making decisions faster than ever before, right? Patience for a cumbersome and clumsy mobile site or app is waning. They expect to move through a brand's mobile experience at a really lightning speed, right? How many of us have heard this before? I want it now, right? If you have kids, you hear this all the time, right? But it's what we're hearing even with our consumers today, right? They're making decisions faster than ever before. People's patience, like I mentioned about a slow website or a slow mobile site or an app is long gone, right? And why are we seeing all of this? If you notice, on an average, we've discussed this before as well, people look at their mobile phones on an average of 150 times a day. And this isn't 150 5-minute sessions, right? It's 150 sessions within a few seconds each. And within those few seconds, we really need to give what our users are looking for, right? And we as marketers and specialists who are helping our customers become successful online today, we need to be really on top of this game, right? And across basically all of these moments and the times that people are looking for information on their mobile phones, people are not really looking for specific brands. We have data which tells us that people have actually bought something else or from a different brand because it was more relevant and it was quick when they were looking for something, when they were in those moments of purchase. And why do we say that we really need to make and we really need to be sure about that speed really matters, and we as marketers and specialists need to make sure that this is happening. Let's look at some data. As you see, 29% of smartphone users will immediately switch to another site or an app if it doesn't satisfy their needs. Right? In fact, of those who switch, 70% of these users do so because it takes longer than expected to load. And 67% will switch if it takes too many steps to purchase or get a desired outcome that they're looking for. Right? Now you may ask, how long is too long? Right? 40% of customers will abandon a site if it does not load within the first 3 seconds. And what's worse, being slow can have a negative impact where one in 5 dissatisfied customers will never ever return to that website. So that's the kind of impact that the speed of a website is having in today's digital space. Let's dive a little deeper into what impact it's having. We did a survey at Google where we asked about 570 people of what is the most disliked aspect of their browsing experience on a mobile device. 46% of those people said waiting for a slow page to load. It's become even more evident that the competition to capture the attention of mobile users is more intense today, right? And an average mobile site takes sometimes even longer than 10 seconds to load. This is the business impact that PageSpeed has had on some of the big companies that we know. Right? Look at Amazon.com. 100 milliseconds faster is equal to 1% more revenue. If you know what Amazon's revenue was in 2015, that's over $1 billion. Right? So that's the impact that they have, the PageSpeed has on websites today. %38 of smartphone users have either screamed or cursed at or thrown their phones when pages take too long to load. Right? It has resulted in an 8.3% increase in bounce rates, 3.5% decrease in conversion rates, 2.1% decrease in cart sizes, and 9.4% decrease in page views. Now these are big numbers, right? And especially for, and I would say it's actually big numbers for all sizes of businesses, right? It does not matter if you're a big business or a small business. This is the space that businesses are competing in, and if it's not available, if the page is not really loading fast, and if it's not frictionless, businesses are losing out, right? And it's up to us, because we are their consultants, right? For us to be able to consult them and educate them about these these metrics and these details. What we would also like to talk to you guys about today is a model that we've identified called the rail performance model. It has about 4 distinct aspects to it, and it's completely based on the user. What we always recommend is focus on the end user, and basically the focus should be to make the site perform fast on any specific device, right? At the end of the day, it's to make the user who's browsing happy. So let's look at response to start with. And also let's, before we delve into the details of response, let's look at what some of the reactions have been, user reactions have been or could be, based on different times that a mobile site can take to load. If the site loads between 0 to 16 milliseconds, and given that a screen that is updating 60 times per second, basically this window will represent the time to get a single frame to the screen, right? People are exceptionally good at tracking motion. Like, just imagine yourself, scrolling up and down, and if it takes more time to load. And all of us dislike when the expectation of motion isn't met, right? Either through variable frame rates, or it could also either be through sometimes the periodic halting that we experience while browsing. If the delay is anywhere between 0 to 100 milliseconds, respond to a user's action within this time window, and basically they will feel like the result was immediate. Any longer than, if you're taking any longer than this, the connection between the action and the reaction that we're expecting could be broken. The load time is, or delay is between 100 to 300 milliseconds. Users will experience a slight perceptible delay. If delay is between 300 to 1,000 milliseconds, within this window things start to feel a part of a natural and continuous progression of tasks. For most users on the web, loading pages or changing views represents a task, right? We don't want them to feel that they actually have to work really hard to get the information that they're looking for. Anything beyond 1,000 plus milliseconds, this is when you lose the focus from the consumer, right? This is the place you don't want to be. So these are some reactions that we've been able to capture, and the ultimate goal is to be able to have the response in less than 100 milliseconds, right? And this applies to any input, whether they're clicking on a button, moving from from different forms of control, or even like looking at some sort of an animation. If you're not able to respond, the connection between the action and the reaction that we expect is definitely going to be broken. The second aspect of this is animation, right? Basically, it renders animation is the part where it's not about trivial actions that web apps can opt into. It's more about, for example, say scrolling and touch moves are types of animations, right? For example, your users will really notice if the animation frame rate varies here, right? And your goal is to produce about 60 frames per second, and every frame has to go through these different steps that we have, like JavaScript, style, the layout, the paint, and then the composite. The third aspect is idle, right? This is the time when we can really maximize the time to complete any deferred work or tasks that our website still has, right? For example, keeping preload data to a minimum so that your app loads faster or your website loads faster, and use the idle time to load the remaining data. We also recommend that the deferred work should be grouped into blocks of about 50 milliseconds. Should a user begin to interact before that, then the highest priority is also to respond to that. And the last part is basically the load, right? Here, what's recommended is to deliver the content under 1,000 milliseconds, right? Load your site. Your site needs to load under 1 second. If you don't, users' attention wanders, and their perception of dealing with the task is broken. We want to look at some news or look for events. We've noticed that there are sites that load faster, and then there are sites which take a lot of time for us to get the information that we are looking for. Now, obviously, we've had instances where we've moved to different websites, right? And that's the opportunity that's lost, where we're not able to deliver if we're not able to load that page under 1,000 milliseconds, right? So these are some of the aspects on the Rail model. Very interesting. We will share this content. It will be interesting for you to share if you guys are not part of the technical team. It's very useful for you to share this with your webmasters and have that conversation with them and ask them these questions. If if these metrics and qualities are available in the customers' websites that you guys are managing today. Now, we also have a technical checklist. It's pretty similar to what we've spoken about. There are, of course, a few other aspects to this, right? Making sure that your page content loads in a logical order. Obviously, when we are looking at a page, we want to make sure that it's very logical to the user. And for us as well, when we are looking for information, we want a page to load in a logical manner, right? Tracking is absolutely important. So you need to have your analytics and conversion tracking implemented across your mobile site. We also recommend using Google Analytics or a tracking platform to test the changes that you're trying to make to your websites, and have all of that tracked and present in a reporting format to be able to make better decisions based on how you want to move forward with the changes that you've made. Consolidating, the mobile web content and having lesser downloads is also recommended, right? And of course, we will talk about a range of devices and models that we have in place for you to be able to test, and how Google is supporting, some of these tests that we have available in-house for our partners and for your customers. The first one is Test My Site. If you haven't used this already, we would recommend that you go ahead and use this for your customers. What this basically does is it gives you, scores across 3 different metrics, which is UX, mobile speed, and desktop speed, right? And you can actually go ahead and download this report or email the report to yourselves to be able to look at what sort of details are there, what sort of details are missing. We provide recommendations and also actionable feedback to improve the performance on your mobile website. webpagetest.org. It's a very beautiful visualization of PageSpeed, where it actually also gives you information on some of the competitors, and how are their websites doing compared to your website. So this is another tool that we recommend that you can definitely use, right? We've also got M-site audits that we encourage all of the gurus, and we've had a fair share of requests sent our way. If you haven't sent M-site requests already, we after the Hangout we will go ahead and share the form where you can request M-site audits for your customers, and we will be sure to send you back the reports that will help make better decisions. These audits are usually based on the 25 principles of mobile site device and all the retail principles of mobile site design that we have at Google. We're also going to be launching PageSpeed audits very soon. Look out on the community, and you will also get an email from us on that when it's launched, and we would be more than happy to continue to support you on that. So on the M-site audits, basically we will look at evaluate the UX score, the PageSpeed score, and also basically this is all incorporated through the 25 principles of mobile design. And we will also give you certain mock-ups of how an M-site could look like if you've gone ahead and made all the changes that we recommend. On PageSpeed audits, we're able to tell you how fast the site is performing. We'll give you these are again based on a checklist of best practices, which can then we will provide you what those are, and which can then be implemented to improve your website's speed. Right, and of course there will be an appendix with all the detailed recommendations which you can share with your webmaster going forward. So do look out for an update and an email from us, and we will be more than happy to continue to support you and your customers in this journey that we've taken on to make their mobile advertising experience seamless, fast, and frictionless. We will open it up for any questions in the last 5 minutes that we have on the Hangout, and take any questions that you may have. We have a question whether we will be sharing the content after the Hangout. Of course, we will be. We will be sharing all the content. We will be sharing all the resources with you to be able to make the most of the resources and the solutions that we are here to offer you guys with. We have another question of how will you be able to request the audits? We will share a form where you'll be able to go ahead and request the audits. Do look out for an email from me. We will be sharing that form on the email, and you guys can go ahead and request the audits on that. Great. I think there are no more questions. I take that as a compliment that I was very clear in parting with this knowledge. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We will update you guys on the next Hangout as well, and we will share these slides and the content with you for you to go ahead and then share it with the rest of your teams. And of course, do feel free to shoot your questions on the community. We will have and we will be able to answer any of those questions that you have. Thanks a lot, and have a good rest of the day.